It was another emotional day of testimony. Brent Christensen's father told the jury he couldn't bear to see his son put to death. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. Michael Christensen says his son has too much to offer to die. Brent Christensen kidnapped and killed U of I scholar Yiying Zhang 2 years ago. He faces life in prison or the death penalty. Now, yesterday, Zhang's family told the jury they don't know how they will go on without her. WCIA3's Aaron Eads was in the courtroom this morning. Aaron, today started with yet another motion for a mistrial.
Yeah, Jennifer, I've lost count of how many times the defense has called for that. This time it was over a juror who walked out of the courtroom yesterday when she was crying. The judge denied that motion, saying they already talked to the juror and worked that situation out. Then it was on to another emotional day in court. Michael Christensen told the court his marriage with his wife broke down because of her alcohol abuse and that Brent has suffered from night terrors all his life. Michael said he tried to give his kids a good upbringing because he didn't have the most caring father when he grew up. He says he still loves and talks to Brent, even though he knows he's a murderer. The defense asked Michael what he would say about his son's crimes. Starting to cry, he said, quote, "I'm sorry my son was the cause of their pain." At that point, Brent also started crying hard into his hands. Now, the defense also called Brent's other relatives and childhood neighbors and childhood friends this afternoon. They say he was a good, normal kid and detailed his family history of alcohol abuse. One of his uncles said a death sentence would absolutely destroy Brent's mother. Now, the defense's case is expected to last several more days. Expert witnesses are scheduled to testify on Friday and Monday. Live in Peoria, Aaron Eads, WCIA3, your local news leader.
And interesting, Aaron, at 5, you said how the Zhang family walked out during this testimony?
They did. They walked out during the father's testimony this morning, at least Rongao, Zhang's father, and her brother did briefly. They did come back in later during the afternoon, but they sat one row behind, whereas they've been in the first row for the rest of the trial so far.
Yeah, maybe they don't want to hear it. Okay, thank you so much. Now, every day we are updating you on what happens in the courtroom in even greater detail than what we can bring you here. Download our WCIA News app to get all of the latest updates and alerts.